Hi everyone, it's Dr. Judith Briles again, and with me is the awesome John Kremer. If you caught us last week, we had fun. And who knew we were going to be talking about turning our writing into songs? I mean, really. But you do want to pick up and catch that, plus a lot of other awesome tips. Well, this session we are going to be looking at on the Author U, Your Guide to Book Publishing podcast. We are going to be looking at the gorilla in the sky, Google, and the changes that this powerhouse is making that will dramatically impact and affect you and your website. And so this is a must listen to. I would come back and probably want to redo it again as we jump into it. I do want to start, which kind of tie in. I always like to come across with my one of my 400 quotes from my my sassy, snappy, salty success quotes. But I picked up the wrong book. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I just no. I thought, oh my God. All right, so I'll just start off with this one. All right, authors who think a publisher is going to market their books to live in La La Land. That's where they are. Today's author must learn to be a master book marketer. There are no exceptions. And there are no rules because the rules keep changing. There's some standards that you have to have, and we'll be kissing on those throughout the day. But there are things that you really need to do and realize it's my saying that I said, if it's to be, it is up to me. Me. And I know that we'd like to be able to. I remember I used to watch Bewitched, and I wanted to be like Samantha and wiggle my nose and everything could be changed and perfect the way I wanted it. That ain't the world. And that it's hard work. This is work. Book marketing is work.
No, no,
Authoring
no,
is
it's
work,
fun.
but fun. Oh no, it's fun.
But it
I
is
like book
work.
marketing.
It is work as
It
well.
is work. It is work. John, one of the classes I'm going to teach on the cruise next month, the Publishing at Sea cruise, is how do you pitch yourself to customers coming into a bookstore?
Mm.
Why is it that the typical author signing in a bookstore sells 4 to 6 books? And why do I sell 40? It's all about the connecting and having fun. I have fun. I have fun. All right. So, John, where are we going with the Google Master?
Okay, we're going to talk about the AI apocalypse.
Ugh. Okay.
We're going to let people know what it is. Uh, what I talk about is actually the AIO, which is AI optimization revolution. You know, how to survive. SEO is dying. I mean, literally, Google
Oh,
is doing its job now is to basically answer your questions without sending you anywhere. So Google wants to keep you in their on their website, in their browser, in their control, showing you ads, selling you without sending you somewhere else. Because so often what Google did was, okay, here's the links. You clicked on one of the links and you were off of Google. And Google's discovered they can make actually more money selling the ads and pages they generate to answer your questions, your search. And right now, it's an option. It's called Gemini in the Google search
mhm.
engine, and it's basically their Gemini AI program. And that will generate your answer without you doing, and chances are you won't go any further.
Yeah,
And
I can
even,
I can give a plus for the Gemini on the imaging that they do. If you want to compare it to GPT, Chat GPT gets an F, where the Gemini AI imaging and what they're doing is like an A. So
yeah.
just
So
yeah,
you know, they create beautiful stuff, but they're basically, I think that in less than 6 months, probably less than 3 months, your website visibility will go to zero from search engines. I
okay,
mean, literally,
so
it's
how
gonna
do we
die.
stop that? How do we stop that?
And many websites have already experienced a 70 to 80% drop off in traffic.
Hmm.
And that's because, you know, Google Gemini, Duck AI with DuckDuckGo, that's my web browser I like to use because it's
Me
private.
too. Me
And
too.
but DuckDuckGo, if you type in a search for something, my wife is always asking questions like, what's the maximum amount of magnesium I should take during the day? Something
Hmm.
like that. I type that in as a search into my search bar, and Duck AI, the first thing it does is it answers the question. It also provides links, but the answer is very reliable. So as a user, I like it because I'm not going to a dozen websites to try to find out more, except with my wife, because my wife always says, "Well, tell me more." You know? And so she'll want to know, well, what are
Here,
the
Gail. I vote for Gail.
so I actually do open some of the links, but it's a really convenient, quick way to answer her question and or answer my question. I have gotten some good questions that way. In fact, when I was looking, I had that in the last episode, I talk about the music, creating songs, the music program, and I had bought a music program and I was using it, but it didn't allow me to upload my own lyrics. So I just went into DuckDuckGo and I said, are there any programs out there that allow me to upload lyrics to my songs, to create songs? And they said, yeah, here are four of them. I checked them out. I found one I liked.
Which
So
is Muretta, everybody. I'll just tell you. Muretta. Okay.
Marika,
Marika. Marika. Okay.
but
MUR.
so obviously a lot of people are going to use them, but the reality is, there's also several browsers out there from AI companies, Comet from Perplexity AI, Atlas from OpenAI. They're going to take over. I would guess that if Google hadn't really bought into Gemini,
Mhm.
OpenAI's and Perplexity's AI's browsers would have taken over. But also, a lot of people are using chatbots as their search engine. They're going into ChatGPT or Claude AI and asking questions, and they're getting better answers, though not always reliable, than most search. And the thing is, that's happening. It's just happening. It's going to happen more. You're not going to be visible if you're relying on Google traffic for your livelihood. You got to change. You got to learn how to do things differently because your traffic is going to drop. It's probably already dropped. You may have noticed it, you may not have, but it is dropping, and it will continue to drop because Google can make more money selling you ads on the pages they generate.
All right.
And I,
What
I,
do
I
we do? Okay.
so
Let's take it.
here are some of the things you can do.
All right.
One thing is you can write a great bio. A
Okay.
bio that has links to a lot of your different things you do, a lot of different services and so on, and then disseminate that bio everywhere. I'm going to showcase, Judith, your bio because I love it,
Oh,
your email signature.
oh,
But
okay.
but that's one place where you should have it. No, I'm not going to tell your secrets. Just your publicly available bio. Uh, but you should have an author bio on your website. I would recommend that you actually sign off some of your blog posts with a short bio with lots of links to different parts of your website,
Absolutely.
different
Absolutely.
sign off at the end of your video descriptions with the bio, cut and paste it in. So when you're doing a description of your video, start cutting and pasting in a bio with links, links, links. Your podcast bio should have it. Your bio on other resource sites, any resource sites that you might be a part of, you know, get it in, And again, I'm going to show now Judith, because I really like it. Here it is. She's got a great picture with a lot of her different books. She's a novelist now. I hope you all know that. She's
Yes.
also a cookbook author. And,
Yes.
so she's not just, any old nonfiction author. She's something special. So,
Mm.
and she says it, publishing expert book. Are those clickable links?
Some of them are because here's what was happening. We couldn't get them all clickable because they were getting blocked by firewalls and stuff
Yeah.
when we sent them out. It's a real problem. So we tried to like this block with all the pictures of the books. That is a block. It's one thing on there. They're really,
Okay.
these are from the email. This is from the spammer stuff on emails. So this is the email link
Yeah.
um, on, on my blog. I mean, when you were picking off the list, I thought, "Oh God, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right." On the blogs, there are, there is a standard, and I'm going to recommend to all of you, you should have a standard signature at the end of every blog, who you are, reiterate your expertise, why you're doing this stuff, get your book titles out there, or what's the latest and greatest. I mean, come
And
on,
it's a great way to disseminate the links to your website so your website doesn't disappear.
yeah.
And I think it's really important. The other bottom half of it is, she's the author of 48 books, honored with 56 book awards. Her podcast has a link. Her author
Yep.
tips videos has a link. Book me. You don't have a link to your book thing.
Because I keep it to three links because
Okay,
because this is
that's
my
three.
email signature and that's the spam stuff.
Yeah, so on your blog, you have more links probably
Yes.
on your blog signature.
Mhm.
So, she's got the things that you want there. And again, of course, phone number, email, her link. I can't believe how many emails I get from people. No email address,
Yeah.
no website link, no phone number. And why? Why don't they
Well,
have those things? They should have them because,
you should. And so I'm going to go back around. That's what you're seeing here is there's more detail on my website on my contact page. Because as someone who has brought in speakers, I've done events, I do things, I'm looking for guests. I am pissed off if I don't have a phone number and an email I can get to you right away if I'm trying to track you down. And you will go into my trash file.
I get that. I'm amazed at how many people don't have a contact page with full details, phone
No,
number. How
yeah,
many
yeah,
websites do
yeah,
not have a phone number? You can't reach them.
I know. No, I
Even
and I even
internet marketing websites. Uh,
I
I
know.
mean, I've learned how to sneakily find phone numbers for some companies that are selling on the internet
Mhm.
because my wife always wants a phone number. So,
Well, I do too, but I also found that, and I have on my contact page, if you're a snail mail person, here's how you can write to me.
right.
And I just think you need to make it easy for people.
Yeah.
Um, and why people continue to put off those bloody blocks. What's your name? What's your email? What's your phone number? And what message do you want to send me? You don't know if the cyber devils are going to block your stuff from going out or going through. You don't know that. That's my rant.
Yeah, but I see, I get an email from you and I'm a podcaster or I'm speaking, booking speakers. I see
Mhm,
the email signature you have and I go, okay, I know almost everything I need to know right here. I'll
mhm,
click through to find out more, especially if I'm
mhm,
interested in your podcast or your videos, et cetera. I want to see what you look like, want to see how you interact, things like that. I might go to your videos, see what they're like.
mhm.
And I noticed that your author publishing tips are under 3 minutes. If they're under 3 minutes, they can be a YouTube short.
They are.
Yay. We talked about that last episode, how important that
Yeah,
YouTube Shorts are, and
yeah.
they really make a difference. So, let's see, gotta move on here. Okay. Another thing is to optimize your listing on high content, top rated sites. Optimize your listing, your bio, your books, etc. on Goodreads. You should be on Goodreads if you're an author, and you should optimize it. You should have whatever links they allow you to send out. Make sure you have them. Create a great listing on matchmaker.fm and listennotes.com. .com. Those are both incredible resources for podcasters, people looking for podcast guests, and it's a great way to promote your own podcast and put them up there. And the neat thing is that both of those websites, Matchmaker and Listen Notes, give you the opportunity to link to like 10 other places, your social networks, your website, your sales page, wherever you want to send them. And I'm amazed at how many people will have a listing on those sites and have one link. And I'm going, but they gave you 10. Why didn't you use them? Uh, so optimize your Amazon page. Now, Amazon, you can't really do that much in terms of links, but you should have a good
Oh,
description of who you are and, whatever you can give them, any kind of hints to get them to know where your website is, even if you can't link to it.
mhm. So let me do an ad on your Amazon page. All of you, if you've gotten a stellar review, make it a blurb. And what I want you to do is to go into your details page, go into your KDP, do the same thing on your Ingram Spark page. And I want you to take that little blurb, whether it's from Literary Titan or wherever it's from, or maybe it's a book award you've gotten come in, and make it the new lead on top of the rest of the information that comes down. So a viewer who's looking at will immediately say, I mean, I love John, one of the reviews that came into my cookbook that the reviewer said at the end, I am hungry and I am going to cook something. You know, I loved that.
Oh, that's such a great sales pitch for any cookbook.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I would put it at the top of the cookbooks I'm going to create. I've been
well,
inspired by you.
there you go. Well, I'm working on my new cookbook, Appetizers with Judith, right now.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yes,
Cool.
I did a party and I guinea pig 10 new appetizers with people last week. So,
And optimize your Facebook page.
yep.
I don't know how many people say, I want to be your friend. And I go to look at their Facebook page and there's no contact information. There's no website. There's no email. There's no phone number. You can have all those things.
Okay, so how can you, this is the thing, because I get hit with all the spam phone calls now. We're all
Yeah, I
getting
know.
them. How in the how in the heck can we I wish I had one of those, massive horns they have at football games that I could blast out when they come. So,
Well, one thing that you can do is you can have a separate phone line that people can leave messages on. Most spammers don't leave messages, so you'll get the messages from the people that want to reach you.
well, since we're talking about Google, so go get a Google phone number
Yeah,
and,
that's an
and do
easy
that.
way to do it. Just something that so that you're contactable in some way. But
Hmm.
email, definitely. I mean, and again, you don't have to use your primary email. You can have a secondary email. I have multiple emails. So I have one email that I use for signing up for internet marketing sites and things like that, so that, you know, I don't check that as often as my main email, John Kremer at bookmarket.com, you know. But that Facebook page, you know how much information they will allow you to share? Have you looked at all the different things where you've lived, bio, and so on and so forth? You can put an incredible amount of rich information that will make people more likely to follow you. Uh, if somebody wants to be my friend and I go to their Facebook, I often go and check to see what's their Facebook page. Are they a spammer? Sadly, there are a lot of Facebook spammers out there too. Women wanting to sell sex. They just like me for some reason. So I get a lot of friend requests like that. And the thing is, if I go to a Facebook page, somebody wants to be my friend, I go to their Facebook page and there's nothing there, no information, no contact, I'm going, nah, you can be my friend once you show that you're my friend. Send me some information, tell me something about yourself. So I think you're missing a lot of opportunities if you're not doing that, especially in terms of linking back to you. Facebook allows you multiple links again. You can share multiple websites you have.
Hmm.
And why not do that? Again, especially in this age of the SEO apocalypse, you're going to have links. You're going to have ways to drive people to your website, to your sales pages, and so on. And I would have direct links to my book page or my sales page on my website as well as my website. So you
Hmm.
can have multiple links. Again, just as tools, ways to get people to see what you're doing, what you're writing, and so on. Uh, it's a waste not to do that. Uh, Another thing that I think you should do is, and I see this, Judith, I know you syndicate, I don't know how many different syndicators get your website, but I know it's a lot. There are about 30 different syndicating services out there. And it takes about 10 minutes, 5, 10, sometimes 15 minutes to set up a relationship between your podcast and their podcast. But once it's set up, your podcast is automatically syndicated to all these different services every time you publish a new podcast. So podcasts allow you to duplicate your bio over and over again. Uh, and then podcast as video can be syndicated in dozens of places as well. Now, I haven't seen, have you seen an automatic video syndication service? There used to be one
Mm-mm, I
that
haven't.
Mike Koenig's had that was wonderful, but I haven't seen one since then. But there is a neat thing, every YouTube video you post, you can share. And you can share, they give you sharing buttons to Facebook, Twitter, or X. Um, if you have any Blogspot blogs, uh, your Tumblr page, a number of other things where you can upload your videos to them automatically. Click, upload, click, upload, click, upload. So it doesn't take long. You can syndicate your YouTube video to about, I think it's around 10, 15 places just by sharing them. If you're not doing that, you're missing an opportunity. So I have a couple Blogspot blogs, and the only content they get now is my syndication from YouTube. But it's okay. It's another link back to my website.
Hmm.
So, I like that. But, there are incredible number of different opportunities there. So to me, the primary reason to do a podcast is very simple. Syndication, getting it out to so many different websites with your links again and again, being multiplied, your bio being multiplied, things like that. And the other
Well,
reason I like podcasts, obviously, is part
hmm.
of what you do, Judith. You have this regular weekly podcast where
Right.
you're inviting people that you want to create relationships with,
Hmm.
if you don't already have a relationship with them.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's a great tool for creating relationships with people you want to.
Well, I think so, but you and I have kind of danced around this. Um
Oh,
a
I
couple of
like
years ago,
dancing.
a couple of years now you're singing. A couple of years ago was you thought everyone should have a podcast. I am absolutely against that. They're work. They're a lot of work. And to do it consistently every week and have that going on. Most podcasts, when I started, there was there was like less than 8,000, something like that. Now there's over 5 million podcasts you're competing with. of
Yeah.
which of that group that is active, maybe it brings it down to 1 million, meaning that they're ongoing regularly all the time. Everybody is in the playground now, and that I think that concentrating on being a guest on someone's podcast would be better behoove you. I think going back to what you talked so much about last week about Substack, I think that could be the cat's meow because most people are more inclined to say, "Oh, I can do the blog." It's not, a whole bunch of this other work you have to do to support the podcast.
Right.
And I love some of the ideas that you came up with. And I've already shot off notes between our sessions to my team saying, we are starting this the first of the year. We're doing this. This is what we're going to do. We're going to add on. I'm jazzed, ready to go. And I've got all the material. I mean, I've been blogging twice a week for years that
Yeah.
I don't even have to think because then we have to power base my number one thing I love, repurposing,
Right.
which we haven't even kissed on here, John, the power of repurposing material,
Right.
and bringing it back to life because I think that was, and it was interesting. During December, I do a countdown of my top four podcasts of the year, and I go a 4, 3, 2, 1. And I numbered two one with and I did it. It was with 156,000 downloads, and it was on the power of repurposing and roaring,
Yeah.
um, and going back. And I think that's so important to understand. So,
Oh, you'll have to send me the link. I need to hear that. I
okay,
mean,
I'll do it.
I repurpose all the time. I mean, that's a lot of my podcasts are episodes are repurposing old
Hmm.
blog posts that I know people have forgotten the information, and it's still I'll run across it again at some point in my website and I'll go, that was really wise advice. So I go ahead and I make it into an audio. So a lot of my podcast episodes are like 2 to 3 minutes long, maybe 5 minutes long. They're
Hmm.
not long. Some are longer, but a lot of them are short, so they're easy to do. And the neat thing with podcasts is you can also do what's called a limited podcast.
Hmm.
10 episodes and that's it. But those
And
10
some
episodes
do
will
that.
live online
Yeah.
in all those syndications
Hmm. Hmm.
forever with links back to you. So
Hmm.
you don't have to think of it, oh, I'm going to be doing this for years. You can say, I'm going to do 10 episodes.
Yep.
And the thing
Yep.
is, I've created episodes. I'll create using Substack because Substack you can schedule your podcast. So um, I will record 4 or 5 over the weekend, and or in an hour's time, I've created 4 or 5 podcasts. And I schedule them out, and boom, they're live. Without me having to keep thinking about them.
Mhm. Well, I've always loved the radio format. It's always been my favorite type of
Yeah,
format, and and we did switch over this year to I think it was this year, last year, to doing the video,
I
um,
know.
and add in because people were it's that I've when I get up, I'm an early bird. Everybody, most people who know me, I'm an early bird. Today, as we're doing this show, I've been up since 3 this morning working on another client's books because I'm on deadline to finish that book this morning, which we did. And so I'm early and off and ready to go on that. So you know, I you know, I'm used to talking and doing things and redoing it. And I think if people would get in the habit of thinking of blocking themselves, thinking they have to come up with something original all the time. No, you don't.
No, it's actually better to repurpose it, to take content you've already created that was maybe even a year or two old.
Hmm.
People have forgotten the advice. I mean, I'm surprised how many times I'll do a podcast and people say, I've never heard that. Yet
Oh,
it was
yes.
in a previous newsletter, it was in a previous blog post, things like that. But, not everybody sees it in those
Uh,
places. So
yeah,
repurpose it, make it
and I have a
available.
rule. Yeah, I have a rule, 2 years. I repurpose once it's 2 years old. So
Yeah. So it's an easy, simple thing to do, and podcasts are a really great tool for doing that. So, to me, why not?
well, and I was, I mentioned that my top four of the year, I was reluctant to ever. I took great pride. I never had I can't remember what they called it, but you just a backup show that you just redo again. I always took pride into always having an original show, and it was like about 5 years into it, I decided, maybe we've had some really great shows, and I started going through and finding the count, who were the top 4 or 5 downloads, depending on how many Thursdays is when our show originally goes out, how many, what were the top 5, and I just did the David Letterman countdown, and it gave me a break, which I kind of liked.
Yeah,
So
I like it.
yeah, so all right, so
So own one video platform for your topic. I know a lot of authors don't use videos very well, but I'd recommend two things. One is sign up for Rumble. It's not all politics. You can
whoa,
own your
okay,
topic there. It's wide open for people to stand out. There are people doing dog videos. There are people doing food videos. There are people doing everything. But it's sort of like the beginning days of YouTube when you could own a topic. So I like Rumble for that reason. And I keep
okay.
forgetting about it, but I need to upload some of the things I'm doing to Rumble as well. And then again, the thing we talked about last week, the short videos, YouTube Shorts and so on, where you can upload them to multiple different social media very quickly. I mean, you can do it in 5 or 10 minutes and have it uploaded to all these TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, etc.
Mhm.
So why not do it?
Okay, John, is there other things that Google is going to be doing? For example, I know that when I was starting to do research, when you mentioned Google to me a week or so ago, and what the big changes were, where they're doing it, and one of the ahas that came out was with how products are identified on your website, and the details that are given, including you better have your prices on your products. Like if you
Yeah.
sell your book for $20, don't just link them to Amazon to go buy it or Barnes and Noble to buy it or wherever they're going to go buy it. You have to put $20.
It
So
always
it's
amazes
searchable.
people don't do that.
Well, look at, we've just changed it. We just changed it because I had the links. Go to Amazon Direct, or if supporting independent bookstores, go to IndieBound and put in your zip code, and they'll tell you the independent bookstores within 25 or 50 miles that you can go and get the book at. I thought I was doing a good thing.
Yeah. But you still have to have the price needs to be there. Pinterest likes that too, because then they can actually showcase the price on the pin. Um,
I
and
well,
did you notice? I haven't tried it yet, but on Facebook now, when you're uploading a post, they have a monetization option. Have you looked at that at all?
on Facebook?
Yeah,
No.
I
So,
don't know what it is. I presume they want you to buy an ad. Uh,
I'm sure. I'm sure.
But
I
it's interesting that they're looking at that, and I think it's worthwhile to just click on those links once in a while and find out what the other opportunities might be.
or see what other people are doing. I
Yeah,
think it is important to try to figure out what other people are doing.
yeah,
uh, on 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 doing those things. It's interesting to see, even by the way, the major players. That, for example, in the fiction line, Michael Connelly, John Grisham, David Vodalski, Ken Follett, all have major books rolling out during the holiday season.
Ah,
this past year. So were they advertising? What were they doing? Where was it going? How are the major publishers handling it? That's a good question, John. How are the big five handling some of this stuff?
ooh, are
Now,
you going to do a podcast episode on that?
I don't know. Shall we?
Well, if you want to do it together, we can.
I'd
Uh,
love to do it together. I don't have the answer right now, but so that means some
okay.
homework.
We'll
But
we'll
I
look
would
for
love
the
to know
answers.
what the five big boys and girls are doing out here to combat some of this stuff. And again,
We'll
there's
include
so
one
much
other
noise.
group, Sourcebooks Trade.
All right. Well, source books is still source books, right? They're still source books.
Well, they're probably the top independent publisher now.
They are, but they also are the most creative, I would
They
say. Would
are.
you not?
They're wonderful, and I could actually contact Dominique and get answers from her.
Well, I would love to do a show, but I thought Dominic had basically stepped away.
No, I think she's still involved, but
Okay,
I'll
but
check. I was going to contact her anyway, so
if you ever contact, I would love to follow up and have her on the show because I think they're brilliant from their graphics, from their presentations, from getting what the current market is driving for. They lead kind of the pack, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah,
great. I will. That'll be another incentive for me to reach out to her.
great.
Uh,
Okay, I am all for that.
so
So,
okay, so own a platform if you can. Really think about it in terms of which platform, and that's why I think you should all sign up for Rumble just because it's still wide open. It's still, a lot of it's politics, no question about it. And if you don't agree with their politics, that's fine. But it's also got the dog videos, the food videos, the funny videos. It's got lots of stuff. But it's still relatively new, so a lot of people aren't uploading to it, which means you can own the market.
all right. So you can
So,
just do so,
and then
you just
another
go in.
thing
Yeah.
I've got here is to join social media groups, especially Facebook and LinkedIn. Um, and we should, can you maybe, can we show a share of your LinkedIn group link? Can you, in the
Um,
chat, will that show up here?
no, not in the chat, but I can let me go in. Well, it's author you groups on LinkedIn. And for you to find groups, by the way, you go on the LinkedIn page and you got to look at the little nine dot matrix that's in the upper right. And you click on that and groups come up there.
Okay,
That's where
great.
you that's where you're going to find it. And if you just go into author you, and while you that it'll come up.
Okay, I'll make sure I do that.
Yeah,
And
that's where that
they're
is.
they're incredible Facebook groups for again any category you can possibly think of. LinkedIn also. So I mean, I'm writing a collection of cat memes because there's so many funny ones out there. So
There
I've
are very
collected
funny
some of
cat
them.
ones.
So I've
Yeah.
joined some of the cat groups, and there's like million member cat groups. Some that only have 100,000 or 500,000, but they're
Uh-huh.
big audiences. And so
Uh-huh.
you could easily join 50 to 60 groups for almost any topic you can think of between Facebook and LinkedIn. But I'd recommend focusing on five, joining them and starting to contribute funny memes, great advice, inspiring quotes, answer other members' questions. Again, when you answer, you can always say, John Kremer, author of 1001 Ways to Market Your Books, qualifying your answer. So you're
Uh-huh.
not doing heavy promotion. You're not going, buy my book, buy my book. I have one member of my Facebook group. All he does is promote his book. So he's putting the same book promotion over and over again. And I keep deleting them.
Mm.
That's not appropriate behavior. You have to contribute. I have one member, Ernie Zielinski. he will share his books, but he'll always share some marketing advice, what he's doing that's working, something like that. So yeah, gosh, that's great. Um, so, that's what you're looking for. It can be really valuable. And so I would encourage you to do that. Again, it's a great way to start to uh, get involved. And again, if you're sharing graphics, like an inspiring quote with a quote graphic, you can always have your URL on it. And I would encourage you to do so because that helps to brand you over and over again. It's another way again for people to discover you. And then this is one that's kind of fun. Book of the Month Club. Judith, I met a guy at one of your conferences, and he did a Book of the Month Club. He wrote 12 books, about 96 to 120 page long. And he's a speaker into the business world. So he makes his
Hmm.
money speaking. So he created
Yeah.
these 12 books and he created a Book of the Month Club. He basically sends out, he collects cards from people at conferences, at speaking engagements, and so on. He adds them to their Book of the Month Club. And he actually mails out a book every month to about 1,000 people. Physical book to 1,000 people. Now, you don't, if you don't want to spend that kind of money, you send out ebooks. But it's a way to get yourself in front of people again and again. And it's really an amazing thing. And the thing is, you can create short books. Julius, you specialize in creating short books.
Oh, yeah, not lately.
Oh,
The last one came in at 130,000 words. I hate to tell you.
I can't
Yeah,
believe it. You should have cut
I
it into 2 books.
um that was historical fiction. That's historical fiction. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to do that then. But you could collect a book of relevant quotations.
oh yeah,
Eh,
no, really short books I think are the way to go. I've said that short is the new black. I started saying that maybe 5, 6 years ago. For writing, and that were typically, John, when I first started signing contracts with New York, when I was publishing only through New York, that was very standard for a nonfiction book, like 82,000 words is what they were looking for.
Yeah,
That's where that was kind of their cut. That's what they wanted. That was like the window to deliver within for the books. Now you're seeing more and more books, 40,000 words that are readable, the airplane read type book,
yeah,
going along that are far more not only acceptable, they're desired on that. Just because, we're into the soundbite thing, that microwave mentality. Give it to me now. And for nonfiction, it was what the problem is, what's the cause, what's the effect solution. Okay, great, I'm out of here. Got it all together. Um,
yeah.
and and that's what people want. And even novellas. I mean, I actually bought, when I was in the bookstore a couple weeks ago, I picked up Stephen King's book on Rita Hayworth, and the Shawshank Redemption, because I wanted to see, because it's one of my favorite movies. I wanted to see how close the movie came to the writing, and it's actually phenomenally close,
Ah,
phenomenally close with the script and the dialogue. But I wanted to see that, and it is a shorty. Maybe 20,000 words. It's a shorty. It's a
yeah,
novella.
yeah.
So,
And there's, no reason why you couldn't do that. Uh, the lady that Diana Gabaldon, who wrote the
mhm.
Outlander series, she did
Yeah.
these she'd
Yeah.
have these thick books, but she also did these very short books of Lord John, who is a main character, one of the main characters in the Outlander series. She did all these Lord John books, and they were short, like, 40, 50 pages or something like that. It's because she just wanted to tell the story. So she just created all these short books, which she sells, and they're perfectly related, and they help to sell the Outlander series. So,
And the Outlander series helps sell them. And that's what I've always told authors, that once you start in this path, the books do breed books. that they will start cross-populating each other for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people, who want to tell their story, their memoir, and I'm saying, so who cares? What's unique about you? What are you going to bring to the party? Is there something else? Because sometimes it's better to have the something else then they will automatically want to know more about you and they'll go for the memoir. At least that's my experience.
Yeah. I've created books out of a blog post.
Hmm.
And so I actually created a book on, I've actually expanded it to 101 reasons why you should write a book.
Hmm.
I haven't published it yet because I'm adding some more reasons. I should just publish it and then add more reasons later, you know. But it started off as a blog post of 30 reasons to write a book. And now it's over 101. And it's 101 pages because I do a graphic with each reason. So it's actually more than 101. It's about 140 pages now.
Hmm.
But easy to create, and it came out of a blog post. So, or you can write a FAQ book, frequently asked questions, and just answer them. You could do that if you're a novelist and you keep getting questions from readers about writing or about your novels. You could collect your answers into a book. Your fans will love it. They'll buy it. They want the inside look. If Diana Gabaldon did that, she'd sell 100,000 copies of that book
Hmm.
because there's so many fans that just want to know everything about her. And instead, she just shares it freely on her website, some of this stuff. But it could easily be collected. If you're a romance novelist, you could do a collection of quotations on love. So it wouldn't be that
Uh,
hard to do. You could create an easy book that way.
and you could
So,
also add in favorite movies. I mean, you can also. I wrote a book called the Dollars and Cents of Divorce, and I had it 13 movie. I did the Baker's Dozen. Everything was a Baker's Dozen. 13 movies to watch, 13 songs to listen to, 13 things to do. I can't tell you how many people pick that up. Um,
and you could create that into a book.
yeah, I could. Well, I did have it in a book. That's where I started
Yeah.
with it.
But I mean, again, something like that would be easy to put into a blog post and put into a book, things like that. So where you could easily create additional potential either giveaways or things you sell.
Hmm.
And, in the world of ebooks, and the neat thing now with like, uh, KDP on Amazon and Kindle, uh, you can upload your ebook and automatically then make it a print book, as a paperback, as a hardcover, and as an audiobook. And it'll generate the audio for you. And it's actually pretty good audio now. It's not the old robotic voice that Kindle books used to have.
Well, hey John, I did a search on Rumble. I'm listening to you, and I put in yours and my kind of three talk rings in authoring advice, publishing advice, bookmarking advice. We could own them all.
Well, great. Let's do it.
We,
We may need to do a short weekly thing where we just do a short 5-minute video where we share things and interact. We'd probably get a lot of people interested in that.
well,
And
it's
put
just
it on
testing.
Substack. Put it on your Substack or create a separate Substack
Yeah.
newsletter and podcast for it.
Okay, so we'll do a brainstorming session off deal. We are sitting with I
Yeah,
know
I
I'm
know.
getting
So anyway,
we're
that's
getting close.
something.
So,
And you can create directories and glossaries. One of the
mhm,
things that I created a directory because my wife wanted it.
mhm,
It was a directory of prayer lines
hmm.
because she
Well,
likes to call for prayer.
yeah.
And so she had a couple of people that she liked doing it and they stopped doing it. And then she had to find somebody else. And so I found about 100 websites that offer, either online prayer line or prayer request or phone line where you can call in and get a prayer. And I created a directory out of it. Again, in today's world and with KDP, you can print full color books at a relatively low cost.
Yeah, at KDP, I will tell everyone it's going to be a lot cheaper on KDP than on Ingram Spark. So you have to decide
Yeah,
where your market is. If you want it in bookstores, Ingram Spark, but there
right.
is
You
such
have to do
a
Ingram Spark, but if you just want to get it out there, if you want to make it a low cost entry to what else you're doing,
Mhm,
Amazon,
mhm,
KDP, all in color.
mhm.
I mean, I love now being able to create color in my books, and have illustrations. And so a lot of my new books now, which I write in less than 10 days each, uh, are with graphics.
And you have it. But you also remember there it does increase the cost. That's for sure. It depends on the market where you're going. And for all of you who are not aware, Ingram Spark is going after books that are less than $15. And you could find that you are under the water, meaning you will, if someone buys your book, you're going to end up owing money because of all their little hoo-hoos they go in there and chop out. There is a difference between the two. Ingram Spark, of course, raised all their prices this year. And you should be checking out your prices wherever you are. I'm going to be saying this for the next few weeks, but on your homepage of Ingram Spark, on the left side, it says check your current printing prices. And you should do that because you may
Yeah.
need to increase your price. And because that's just the way it is. But here's the other thing is, and our friend Rebecca Finkel, who is one of our sponsors with fpgd.com,
Oh,
makes beautiful, beautiful ebooks that are loaded with color. And she's always said ebooks do not have to be ugly. And
no.
unfortunately, most of them are.
So,
So,
you know, so it's really easy to create some related to whatever you're doing. Think about what you want to do and make it available. And there's incredible quote sites out there where you can collect all the quotes you want in a
oh yeah.
relevant genre.
Oh, and then let me give all of you a tip. If you go to a Brainy Quote or any of these other quote sites, you do look in your genre of where you're at. Okay, and take some of them down. Okay, now you're a writer, you're creative. Take these lines and morph them and make them your own. And then they're your quotes. So that's my tip. John, we've got like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Any last minute goodies?
I don't know. I don't know what the next thing. Oh, this
You
is
have
a
the Book
good
of the
one.
Month Club.
Ask
Okay.
AI for help. Ask your favorite AI chatbot or browser, would you help me get the word out about my book? What is the
Oh,
best way to get the word out about my book? Name the title and so on.
mhm.
Or this is one that I did. What are John Kramer's 10 best book marketing tips? I asked a number of, I
Yeah.
asked ChatGPT, I asked Comet, I asked Google Gemini, I asked the Duck AI. And the neat thing is that forced them to go to my websites to find out.
Ooh, how fun. Well, I've
And
had people come to me.
they
Yeah,
linked the answer linked to all
yeah,
my websites. So they saw all these different pages on my website.
yeah,
They didn't come up with the 10 best, as far as I was concerned, the 10 best, but
yeah.
I forced them to go and look at my website. So now they're aware. So if somebody else comes in and asks just for book marketing tips, I'm much more likely to show up.
I love that idea. And I did have a deal. Someone called me out of the blue, and I said, "How did you hear about me?" He says, "Well, I went on AI and I was asking for book publishing and coaching help, and they recommended you." So you never know. All right, everyone. John
You cannot
Kramer.
ask AI to recommend you directly. AI
No,
will say, "No, we
no,
can't promote you
no,
directly, but if we
no.
find something useful, we'll certainly do
They'll
it."
share it out. Yeah, but anyway, my name popped up. All right, John Kramer, bookmarket.com, right? Sign up, go to his Substack, sign up. follow the tips, listen through. This is 2026. It's a whole new year. Why not kick it off with a great start? I'm Judith Briles. We'll see you next week. Thank you, John, for being with us again.
Thanks a lot. It's fun.
Yes, always, always. All right.